I shouldn't be alive. I grew up in a city called Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and a housing projects in Pawtucket called Prospect Heights. At the age of 11, I started experiencing drugs and being introduced to drugs. Growing up in the projects, I mean, you see deaths, you see people getting killed, you see people, selling drugs. So you're like, I want that lifestyle, because you see them driving fancy cars. So that's what the lifestyle you've seen. And that's what everything that's going on in the projects, pretty much. You know what I mean? You don't see nothing different. And you don't normally leave the projects because everything's right there at your fingertips. Even when you move out of the projects, you still have that project mentality. You're still into drug selling. You're still into drug using. It doesn't come out of you. You just don't leave it. And then, so you bring what you learned in the projects with you. So no matter where I lived, it didn't leave me. So I just bring it to another apartment. The demon of suicidal thoughts started to cling on to me because my life was just a wreck. And now suicide thoughts were coming in my head. And soon after that, I was just at the end of being ready to take myself out. I jumped out of a third-story window, head first through the glass onto concrete, and didn't break a bone. And then it was a year to date exactly. This is how God works. It was a year to date, and I didn't even know it. It was just how it happened that I end up in the cafeteria of the Providence Rescue Mission. So I committed to the Providence Rescue Mission for a 1-year program. It was the discipleship program. That's how Jesus works. Jesus works so funny, and sometimes it's revealed to you after, when you don't even realize what he's doing in your life. And he changes your life drastically, but he'll reveal the things that he does that you cannot explain. And so all these things started happening after I got into the program. A lot of different things started happening. They had classes that dealt with my childhood, like the Genesis program, which took me back into my childhood and bring up things and rehash things that I needed to speak out and talk about so that my life would have been changed. Because when you start doing drugs and alcohol, that's when your character starts growing up. But the mission was changing all that. Jesus used the mission to change my life.
Wasn't that a great story of God's transforming power that you just heard from Mark? I get excited because part of my job is hearing story after story of that. Men and women that came to the Providence Rescue Mission looking for a meal and getting a new life. And that's what the mission's about. Not only do we do a discipleship program for men and women for 1 year that encompasses clinical Christian counseling, life skill classes, and education, but we start at the beginning. We start when people come in the door, they're desperate, they're hungry, they have no place else to turn to stay, they come to the mission. And we provide chapel service and a sit-down dinner. And we provide their clothing essentials and their hygiene essentials. And we do that 7 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year. We never close our doors. And that's to over 100 homeless men and women every night. And it's amazing. But the mission does more than that. Each week, we're now providing over 6,000 people in our state with essential emergency food boxes because the cost of living has increased so much. The people are struggling to pay their rent. How are they going to feed their kids fresh fruit or chicken or dinner? They come to the mission. Besides that, we're out on the streets where the homeless who aren't ready to come inside yet, their struggles are so deep, they'd rather live under a tree. We're there, praying, encouraging, feeding, giving them the essentials, and telling them how much God loves them. And all of this happens because of people like you. You see, the mission is 100% privately funded. We derive our support from individuals, businesses, and churches. But as you just heard Mark, it's great ground to invest in. There's so many more Marks and other people that have been touched by the love of Jesus Christ at the mission. And so if you'd like to get involved, if you'd like to be part of that success story, please visit our webpage, providencerescuemission.org. You can pray for the mission, you can volunteer at the mission, you can donate to the mission, and continue the legacy of over 23 years of Christ using the mission in the state of Rhode Island to do more than just serve a meal. He changes a life. Thank you, and God bless you.